I strongly believe that every business deserves a chance to succeed.
IP is basically essentially at the heart of everything you do within your company.
I started a business about 5 years ago and did it completely the opposite to the way I should have done, and then ended up in a bit of a trademark battle that cost me quite a lot of money. It all worked out in the end, but if I'd have known all about the priorities that I should have taken then it would have saved me thousands of pounds. Understanding the importance before you start a company of IP law will save a lot of potential entrepreneurs a lot of money and time in the future.
I've always known about IP and the importance of IP. Well, I thought I knew the importance, and hearing her speak tonight and the other speakers, it's really been drilled in tonight.
She's absolutely fantastic about making a really complex subject like law and IP incredibly simple. And I think she's done that brilliantly today. And I think there are a number of people that are talking about her book and getting involved with her as a result of her speech in the event that's on tonight. I'm fortunate enough to already read her book, and it's been absolutely fantastic read. And I think it's one of those books that every entrepreneur needs to have by their bedside, because at the end of the day, IP is incredibly important. And I think she really drove that home today.
As you would expect me to say, I think IP is incredibly important. People often think about it only as a kind of insurance cost to protect their business, but that's quite wrong. It's much more a way of integrating it into your business and develop it with your business. Many of the successful companies have changed and expanded and laterally expanded their brands, so that Dove was initially just for soap, but now it's all kinds of other cosmetics. If you've got a good brand, it can really be the stepping stone to a business success. I think that my advice to any business is to be bold, consult people early. Free advice is available from a whole lot of people, including the Patent Office and fellow professionals like me, and then you can go forward and choose what's best for you. So my message is, branding, patents, copyright, these are all your servants, and they needn't cost the earth.
You must start early, and you must really check into your IP and protecting it, and really think about your brand before you go too far. And we've done that at the Book Midwife, and I have had to protect it several times, and I'm so glad I went through it all properly. I've used Shireen in the past. She's really good, and people who don't understand these things might waste a lot of money and get into a lot of trouble. It's a really, really important book, and great information from someone who knows her stuff.
I've learned that I know nothing about IP or how to legally brand yourself.
I think it's not just about how the image that your company portrays, but it also goes a lot deeper than that, and about how you come across the whole thing, really. So
I'm a lawyer as well, and I think very crucially she made the point that it's not just about being a lawyer, it's about adding value to clients. She talked about branding. That's her key thing. I think all lawyers can learn from that as well. It's not just about the black letter law, it's about adding value.
As a fellow author, very, very impressed with what Shireen's put together. There's clearly a massive gap in the market. I'm a social media trainer myself, and I'm working with companies about brands and how they protect their brands. And in the social media and online marketing age, it's very, very important that they do protect their brands. So I think this book is absolutely ideal, and it's a real must-read for any major brand who wants to protect themselves. So well done, Shireen.
I know how important it is for branding, and how you need to nowadays get yourself sorted out. So I thought the evening's been brilliant. Met some really good people, and it's been a success, I think. Yeah.
Seek advice early and not leave it too late. If you leave it too late, you might be in trouble.
Many businesses tend to ignore the IP aspect, which is, as Shireen is trying to demonstrate, is sometimes a missing part of starting the business.
What Shireen's doing with this book here is fantastic. It's absolutely what entrepreneurs need, so that they can very quickly go through this and say, what are the issues? What do I have to worry about? How can I take care of this today? It's always about, what do I have to do today? We're all busy. Go in there, make sure you have these issues covered. I'm going to read it. And I know I'm working on setting up my own business, and I know after I read this, I'm going to have a nice sound sleep that night, because I'm going to know that I have bases covered that I don't really know anything about right now.
Probably the most important thing is that how to really make sure you've got your IP in place before you start. I think that was probably the biggest sort of take-home message, because normally people get everything done, all the nice, pretty stuff done first, and then they look at it at the end, and then it can be too late. It really needs to be brought up really to the front, and I think that this book will really highlight that.
It's not just the visuals, but you need to have all the IP in place, particularly in regards to choosing a name.
All the stuff around your brand, protecting your brand, can be a real minefield for people. And one of the things that's been really interesting for me is the fact that Shireen's really genuinely passionate about people to understand this, and it sounds like this is a really nice, practical way to begin to unpack something that's really daunting.
I'm actually really looking forward to reading the book, because, you know, if I come to a book launch, I'll probably buy the book, but I'm really looking forward to reading Shireen. She talks about some really interesting points and pointed out, you know, 2 or 3 elements of why IP is so important.